Transports at Reading, Bristol Parkway, Bristol Temple Meads, Taunton, Exeter St. David's, Newton Abbot, and Paris.
Who is it?
It's Chief Inspector Morse. I'm looking for Dr. Kerridge.
Well, of course I know the doctor, Inspector. I've lived here since the war, you know, when it was a respectable place.
I'm sure, madam.
Of course, it was very boring then. Fascinating things that go on now. I wouldn't live anywhere else in the world.
How long has Dr. Kerridge had his flat, Mrs...
Miss Tree. Miss Tree by name, Miss Tree by nature. I don't suppose you want to know about my private life.
If you would just tell me about Dr. Kerridge.
What do you want to know, Inspector?
When did you last see him?
Oh, I haven't seen him for weeks. I've heard him, all right. He has the flat above me. Not that I'm complaining. He doesn't go in for wild parties, more's the pity. Keeps himself to himself, you might say. Rather dull, really. I mean, all he really likes doing is sitting by the canal, in the rain, trying to catch fish. I prefer dancing.
When you say you've heard him...
Oh, just a bit of banging about. Chopping the head off some poor herring, I dare say, to feed his friends. How anyone can eat fish when you see the state of the water.
Does he often have friends in, Miss Tree?
He lets people stay here. They usually come to me for the key.
When was the last time that happened?
Last week. An elderly gentleman. Very nicely turned out.
And he didn't say who he was?
It wouldn't have meant anything to me anyway, would it, Inspector?
If I could borrow the key to have a look around as a friend of the doctor's.
I must finish getting ready for my tea dance. Do you tango? No, I thought not. I might be able to do something with you. Perhaps not.
Yes, sir. Scotch, please. 86. May I? It's Dr. Burns, isn't it?
Who the hell are you?
My name is Morse. Our paths crossed in the master's lodgings at Beaumont. Can I get you a drink?
I'm waiting for someone.
Your glass is still empty.
All right. White wine, thanks. That seat is taken.
Scotch and white wine.
Did you hear what I said? That seat is taken.
Excuse me.
How did you know my name?
Well, Alex told me we're old acquaintances.
So are we. Cheers.
Cheers.
By the way, I'm not a doctor yet.
Well, Alex said there'd be no doubt.
That's what he said about my fellowship. Academics don't know what it means, stuck in their little ivory towers. They've more or less got jobs for life, haven't they? Would they share them with someone new? Someone who also happens to be a woman? I'd like to see some of them on the dole, I can tell you.
Like Alex?
Alex and I, we work very closely together on the new book. I should have joint credit, really. Still, it might get me my doctorate. It should have got me my research fellowship. Are you connected with Oxford, Mr. Morse?
In a manner of speaking.
You must have some idea of what it's like. A vicious, backbiting, petty-minded, parochial little town that thinks it's the center of the universe.
Pretty, though, for a city.
It's the people that spoil it. People like Beaumont's vice master, Dr. David Bloody Kerridge.
Why Kerridge in particular?
He's the one who voted against me.
How do you know?
Alex, the master told me. That's who I'm waiting for.
You might have a long wait. I've got a train to catch. Can I get you another?
No, thanks.
Well, I wish you luck, Miss Burns.
Good evening, Dr. Kerridge.
Miss Burns, what on earth are you doing here?
You vetoed my fellowship. I want to know why.
Dear good woman. Come on. This may sound melodramatic, Miss Burns, but there is someone after me.
Me, Dr. Kerridge.
I am quite serious, Miss Burns.
So am I. Give me one good reason why you were so against me.
I was not. I am not. I had nothing to do with turning you down. You have my word.
Then who was it?
You really want to know? Very well. It was the master.
Wins, please.
You got a tissue?
You've got a nasty infection there. There's nothing I can do until it's cleared up. I'll give you a prescription for some penicillin and you can come back on Friday.
Well, can't you just take it out now?
We no longer condemn teeth to death without just cause, Mr. Morse. If you had visited a dentist in the last few years, you would know that. Make an appointment with the receptionist and cut out the sugar. Good day to you.
Thanks for your help.
Bye.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Sergeant Lewis. I've obviously got you wrong. I thought your wife bought your clothes.
Oh, not around here, she doesn't. It's a bit rich.
Oh, go on, let's have a look.
We've seen this once already.
Definitely not your style.
Still, at least we know now whose it was. It was tailor-made for Dr. Kerridge. Missing an arm and a leg.
Oh, please.
So... the Chief Inspector found out that Kerridge went missing recently. More than likely ended up in the Canal of Thrupp.
Oh, how is Morse's toothache? Still making him impossible?
He's gone to the dentist. He'll be all sweetness and light now, I promise.
Well, we'll see. Actually, you can probably help me.
Oh, I'll try.
Well, believe it or not, I've been made godmother. Yes, which makes me feel very old. And I'm not quite sure what you get nowadays.
Girl or a boy?
Boy, age 3.
One thing I wanted when I was a lad was a tin drum. But my mum wouldn't have it. Said it'd be too noisy.
Yeah, I'm sure she was right. No, I need something smaller. They're going back to India. Used to work in the same hospital. I shall miss them.
What about a mug? You know, a pewter mug. There's some nice shops on the high street.
Yes, that's a good idea. Oh, but it may not turn out to be a drink.
It's hot out there, isn't it?
Sugar?
No, better not. The dentist's orders. Is this yours?
Sort of. I pinched it from my local.
Is that beer any good?
Well, why don't you try it sometime?
I might just do that. What news of the master?
I spoke to him this morning. In fact, I was going to call you. Dr. Kerridge has been found in London. He's perfectly all right.
Really? Who found him?
Miss Burns, apparently. She rang here last night in a most peculiar state.
What did she say?
She appears to have got it into her head that the master has ruined her career. In fact, she made all sorts of threats.
What sort of threats?
Well, you know, academics. They're forever accusing each other of plagiarism. She said she'd expose him, the usual kind of thing.
How would she do that?
Well, there are people in the media who are ready to believe anything, aren't there? Especially about Oxford. But I think Miss Burns was just being hysterical.
Why?
Because she claimed Dr. Kerridge supported her against the master. That's completely unlike him. He's totally loyal to the college.
May I? Miss Burns doesn't exactly get the most generous of acknowledgements, does she?
I have no doubt the master gave her what she deserved. Of course, she could have been greedy for more.
Does she know what he's put?
She insisted on knowing. That's what caused her intemperate reaction.
And you told the master about that?
Of course.
How did he react?
Calmly. As always.
Find anything at Thrupp?
Cottages as neat as an I.M.T.L.E.
Like his London place.
Oh, Dr. Russell's had forensics report on that piece of skin he brought back. It does belong to the body.
But whose body is it, Lewis?
It's Dr. Kerridge's. The suit was his.
Dr. Kerridge is alive and kicking in London. We'd better have that canal dragged again. Arrange it, will you? Cheers. I trust your excellent taste is as much appreciated by your employer as it is by me. Difficult, is it?
Just difficult to keep up with. But the effort is so worthwhile.
Tell me about the Sheldon lectures.
One of the greatest honors the college can bestow. Guaranteed publicity, guaranteed publication, guaranteed future career.
So the master was very fortunate to get the job.
Not fortunate, deserving. But of course he wasn't master then, that followed later.
How was the post awarded?
The college council decide between those fellows who've been put forward.
And how would people like Kerridge and Drysdale get defeated?
You know Oxford. It only needs someone to put about the wrong sort of gossip about a candidate, that his work wasn't original, or that there was something in his private life that would gain the lecturers the wrong sort of attention.
So Kerridge and Drysdale might have assumed that each had slandered the other.
I suppose so. I feel so sorry for Mr. Drysdale. For an academic to contract cancer of the brain. But he does seem to be enjoying himself in Rome. We've all had postcards.
Damn it, Lewis, I'm off duty.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, miss. We've just had a call from the chief superintendent about Dr. Kerridge.
Come back to Oxford, has he?
I'm afraid not, sir. They found him in his Bayswater flat, battered to death.
Bring it up and come in. Over.
Hacksaw job. Yep. Thought it might be.
What's a nice girl like you doing a job like this for?
How do you know I'm a nice girl, You sound just like Morse.
I would take that as a compliment. No, I mean, you'd have made a smashing GP. What made you prefer dead bodies?
Well, you have the same challenge of diagnosis, but without the responsibility of prescription. The dead man was at least 5'10", but I can't tell you much more till the head is found.
I'll go and see the boss.
You really like him, don't you?
It's the best there is.
Oh, if you say so.
Doesn't make sense, Lewis. 2 people killed in the same flat.
By the same person, do you reckon?
Well, if so, why cut up one body and bring it all the way to Thrupp? Why dress it in someone else's suit? You're going to kill the owner of that suit soon afterwards.
Unless it was Kerridge did the first killing, sir, and then got killed himself.
Why would Kerridge want to dress up a corpse in his own clothes? Whoever killed our first victim planned it very carefully. Kerridge, on the other hand, was battered to death in a way that seems almost casual by comparison. There obviously is a connection. One the Yard will never find, that's for sure. Look at that.
Sir Christopher Wren's 1669.
Well done, Lewis. And the place where the Sheldon lectures are delivered, in front of the great men of the university in all their robed finery. To be the center of attention in such a place. To have your peers hanging on your every word. Worth killing for, would you say, Lewis?
Well, I don't know, sir. I was once meant to speak in a balloon debate in my first year at secondary school, but it was cut short by a fire drill.